Hello guys, I'm back. There goes my voice. How's everybody doing? I told you I'd hop back on tonight. We're gonna finish this bottle. I came up with a couple different ideas, so we're gonna play with it and see what we can do. So I'm just gonna wait till I can pull myself up and then share you out and we'll get going. So when you hop on, feel free to say hello. Let me know you're here. No longer see the red live button. Please hit hashtag replay. Let me know that you were here. Let's see if I can get you into my own stinking group. Yep. There we go. Hi, Rebecca. How are you? All right. Well, I keep losing myself over here. Group. Hello, hello. Oh, I love when this works out just so perfectly. Hi, Cheryl. How are you? Thank you for sprinkling. Appreciate it. Are you still doing auctions with Kathy? Am I still, at the moment, no. She does a lot of on Whatnot, but not to say we won't have one in the future. Hi, Nicola. How are you? Hi, Sybil. Hey, Meg. Hi, Dina. I don't know why I didn't even recognize that that was you. I'm sorry. How are you, darling? All right. Let's finish this bottle. All right. I'm not sure who's all going to join or is able to join me tonight, but we're going to get it done one way or another because that's what I want to do. Hi, Sue. Good to see you too, darling. How are you doing? How is everything? I hope well. You're awake. Hi, Dean. Well, knowing you, you'll be awake for about 30 minutes, right? Because it's about your bedtime. Are you laying next to the hubby? All right, so we got the bottle going. This is what we did. We did the champagne striping on the bottom, right? And we started the fine line at the top. So this would you bend piece is going to go on it. We kind of picked out a topper. Here's the thing. So I wanted to put this, hi Sam, I wanted to put these in the center of this would you bend piece. So we're going to fill it with these crystals, but we're also going to kind of, I think, alternate it with pearls because I want to put this right around this area and then go up and down the striping with these as well. So, and then we're going to have to paint the topper, but I did do the second coat of fine line. I don't know if you can see, like, you can see I got some drips there, but that's all right. It'll be fine. I don't know that you can, probably on that light you can't see it. But it started crackling, snoring away. Oh my God, that's funny. Hi Sue, how are you? Only the cool kids are here. You're so funny. So I did let it dry naturally. However, I'm going to put some heat on it. So if you put heat on it, it'll crackle it even more. And I want lots of crackle on this. I want it to look like old and enamel-y. I know it's an odd word, but he's feeling all nostalgic about this year and the grandbaby. Aw, sweet man. Hi, Linda. How are you? All right, so we're just going to give this lots of crackle. So before this is sealed is when you want to put your pigments in here. You're off work till Monday. That's awesome. So we're going to do the same champagne metal pigments. We're going to put that in here. And until you seal this, I will tell you, and you need to use a solvent-based sealer. I haven't done fine line in a hot minute, but you want to use a solvent-based sealer. Do not use a water-based varnish on this. You want to use a solvent-based varnish on here. So Pen Art has 3 different ones. Look what I got. Hold a moment, because I finally got it, and I'm not using it on this, of course. I got the matte one. So there's 3 different ones that Pen Art carries. So you have the solvent-based varnish, and this is the, I call it like the antique one. So it's got like an amber hue to it. It'll give it more of like a vintage type look. Now, all these varnishes, these solvent-based varnishes do have an odor to them. So I will tell you, like, crack a window if you're super sensitive to it. This is the matte one. I have not used the matte yet. I'm excited to use it. This does look white. It dries clear, but it's a matte solvent-based varnish. So we're going to have to do a fine line crackle with the matte because I have never done it. And then this is just the clear one. So this is what we're going to put on here. These 2 are glossy. So this like vintage antique one is glossy as well. And you guys can find these on my Crafting Chaos link. She does carry all the solvent-based sealers. So, but before we seal that, we're going to use the same metal pigment. So you're going to use either like your antique pastes in here in whatever colors. This is the Umbra. There's black, there's gold, there's the silver, there's brass, there's all these beautiful colors, right? But you can also use your metal, your metal pigments in these as well. So that's what we're going to do. I'm going to just get a soft, fluffy brush. And we're going to use the champagne on here since that's what we striped the bottle with. And then we're going to seal it because if you do not seal it, it will continue to crackle. It will eventually come apart on you. You want to make sure that you do seal it, but once you seal it, that's it. You're done. It's sealed. You cannot get any more of the pigment in. Do not use a baby wipe. Whatever you do, don't use a baby wipe. We're going to use, I don't know, I get these at Dollar Tree. We decided on grandparent names. I'm Grammy and he's Grumpy. I love it. So this is just like a soft cloth. You can use a paper towel. You can use a microfiber towel. Any kind of dry towel you want to use. Do not use a baby wipe, whatever you do. And you want to make sure that you're not using anything water-based in here. I love it. Grammy. So Sophia called me Grammy and then called me Granny. And I was like, okay, we need to stop. Like, she was so cute. She's like, because she calls me Coley. So when Ashley, my daughter-in-law, and my son got together, you know, obviously they were just dating, and when they finally got serious is when, you know, she had us meet Sophia. So she always called me Coley, and I tell her she can call me anything she wants. Well, Lucas calls me Grandma. So when I was there a couple weeks ago, she goes, Grandma, and then she goes, I'm sorry, I mean Coley. And I said, baby, you can call me anything you want. She goes, okay, Grandma. And then she started calling me Grammy. And then she called me, what did she call me? What did I just say she called me? She called me Grandma, then she called me Grammy, then she called me, I don't remember. And I said, can we go back to like Coley or Grandma? Like Granny. She called me Granny. I'm like, listen, I love you. And I know I just said you can call me anything you want, but can I be the like younger version of the grandma? I got nothing. So should we bounce between Coley and Grandma? And it's whatever she's comfortable with. I'm fine with it. She does, because all the kids, like all my cousins growing up, they always called me Coley. So my kids were used to, like all the daycare kids called me Coley. They didn't have to call me Miss Nicole. I just never loved the formal thing. So everybody always called me Coley, and it was so cute. I loved them calling me Coley. So all kids call me Coley. Most kids can't say Nicole. Two called me, what's that? The longest. Now it's Mimi. I love that, Mimi. That's cute. I love that, Sam. So I did just the top of this so I can show you. So this is just the white. do you see now you see all the crackle? That champagne is sitting in that crackle. Look how beautiful that is. I love that. Your dye? I do. So my name is, Jesus, I'm an idiot. I'm Nicole. I don't have a middle name. My daughter's name is Ashley. So my daughter-in-law's name is Ashley, and we thought that was confusing enough, right? So we were like, my Ashley, your Ashley, blah, 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 blah. Well, her middle name is Nicole, so it's Ashley Nicole. We were looking at Austin like, Austin? I was like, Scoot, come on. She's got both our names. What's the deal here? Mom, it just worked out that way. He missed us. That's all it was. So his wife's name is Ashley Nicole. So she's got his sister's and his mom's name. And I think it's stinking hilarious. We tease them about it all the stinking time. Grun grun? So we're just working this into all that crackle. You just take your brush, dip it into your metal pigments, and just, you go in circles. Same thing if you're using the wax. I always say just go in circles because then you're getting it all into those cracks. You can use a brush. Well, obviously with the pigments, you want to use a brush. If you use the wax, you can use your hand. D names, and we're all married. J names. I did it twice. Hi, Judy. You have stuff 1 and stuff 2. That's funny. And then just wipe off the excess. And look at all that beautiful crackle. Isn't that gorgeous? I love that. All right, so we're just going to close this back up. Now, we definitely want to, just anything else that might be in this brush, I'm just gonna get it all off because we can. I'm covered in it. I realized I'm covered in white paint as well, but okie dokie. It is so pretty, I love it. Missed a little bit of a spot down here, so we'll come back down. Whew. Went a little heavy on that brush. Right down to the edge of that line. Now we did not crackle the bottom. I did not want the bottom crackled. I want it to just be those champagne stripes and that kind of like whitish ivory stripe look. Now we're gonna have to seal this. Thank you, Meg. So we are gonna seal it. Jeez, man. Champagne is such a pretty color. Hi, Carla, how are you? At church, there are 2 Cheryls. We're Cheryl 1, Cheryl 2. I love it. There's not a lot of Nicoles. I mean, there's more than, I don't know, I thought there were, but there's not more than I thought there were. I didn't hear the name Nicole. My mom married 3 men, all born in, really? Growing up, I was the only Nicole. Like, nobody else had my name, which is weird because it's not like it's an uncommon name, but I thought it was because there were no other Nicoles for me growing up. So it was just weird. All right. So, and in some areas, just because of the way the crackle may have appeared, I can go ahead and take right to that spot where you see all that gold sitting there. See that big chunk of gold? I can take my transparent wax and wipe that off. I like that because I want it to look like it's old enamel, like that old look. I leave that because I want it to have that look. So that's up to you. You can take the transparent wax by Pen Art and you can rub that on there and it will disappear. I leave it. I like it that way. I don't mess with it. So we're going to take our clear varnish and we're going to varnish the whole piece, and then we're going to dry it, and then we're going to add our Would You Bend and everything, because I don't want to get the tight bond onto the fine line, right? So the Would You Bend piece is going to go right about here, and I don't want to get that tight bond on there. Now there's with my name either, but one of my besties is, oh, that's awesome. Because we don't want anything water-based on that fine line. And my daughter-in-law is Tammy. So what I will tell you is whatever brush you use in this, do not, after you have used the solvent-based sealer, do not, whatever you do, stick your brush in water. You're going to want to clean it with at least 91 to 97% rubbing alcohol first, and then you can wash it with soap and water. So I'm going to leave this here just in case. And we're going to, well, let's just get the whole top of this varnished, and then we'll do the bottom. Yeah, I've never seen any other Teresa's. I mean, Teresa, but not Therese. And I've never seen Dean, and I know I'm saying her name wrong. I know I've been saying her name wrong this whole time, but to me, she's Dean. Which probably drives her crazy, because now everybody probably calls her that, but I can't, like, get it out of my head. That's all I call her when I see it. I've been corrected several times, but I can't undo it now. And she's good with it. Or at least so she says. She hasn't yelled at me yet. See, she says, that's fine. It's fine. My youngest son's best friend is named Nicole. Really? My legal name is Mary. And like I said, the solvent based is pretty strong. So if you're sensitive to it, do it with a window cracked. Have a fan on, whatever makes it easier for you. And this is very glossy. So I am going to come down just a little bit into the stripes, and then we're going to dry it, and then I'll come all the way down to the rest of the bottle. And it does take a little bit longer to dry, the solvent-based varnish, just a heads up. Look how shiny that is. Beautiful. Hi, sissy. Actually, we're just going to go around the whole stinking thing. And if I got to turn it upside down, I'll turn it upside down to get underneath. It'll be fine. I probably won't do the underneath. I'll do that after, once the bottle's all done. That's a long name, Dan. I took one look at it and went, nope. Long name. Look, my brush is coming off. Oh, thank you, sissy. The heart. That one. Nutmeg. I love your talent with. Oh, thank you, Carla. People have been saying that, and I don't know where that came from, but it makes me feel weird because there's so many people that do do bottles that are so much more beautiful than mine. So it always makes me feel a little awkward. I'm not going to lie. I love doing bottles, but I see some people's bottles and they just blow me away. I mean, and they blow mine out the water. I'll tell you that much. Oh, I got you, dude. I think the only thing with me is I'll use anything as a topper. I'm not scared to make all kinds of different designs and do it all different, and which a lot of people do, but, and I never make the same thing twice. I don't know. Alex and his wife's name is Alex. They call them Alex and girl Alex. Oh my God. and grow Alex. Oh. Oh, I forgot I haven't used this in a hot minute. It does have a pretty strong odor to it. So I told you I'd come back and finish it. And if you weren't with me earlier, we were talking about doing an auction with just like bottles for now. I don't know. I'll probably have like 10, 12, maybe a couple other pieces, but I think we're going to do a bottle auction, which will be my first bottle auction ever. Like, I mean, I've had bottles and auctions, but it's going to be mostly just bottles. Not what I did. Oh my God, that's funny. A little hot. Hi, Elizabeth. How are you? Hi, Pam. Is it Alexis or it's not real? My name is Jean. My biggest fear in life is to meet a guy. Well, it's funny, like back in the day when I was younger, I dated a guy and my initials are TM. I'm going to shut up because I don't know where I was going with that. They're not TM. So they're NM. And then the guy I dated forever, his initials were TM. And then I got with my daughter's father. It was the same thing. TM. And he was a Tom. Then I married a Tom. And Lord help me. And they needed all names. I went in life. I was married once before too. Hi Teresa, how are you? I wonder if that'll let me translate. It will not. When the kids got married, they needed all names. I went by in life. I was married once before. Oh my God. Hi Carla. All right. I just want to make sure we're nice and dry. I'll pick this up, make sure that I got everywhere. All right, I think we are good. I'm gonna take it and dry it just for another moment. And I think this is the topper we're gonna be using, so I'm gonna have to paint this and the bottom champagne. I did white as a base. And then I did the black underneath the champagne and put the champagne over the black stripes. Just to make that champagne pop more. And there's quite a few more things we're going to be doing to this, so we're going to play with it a bit. So we'll probably be here for a good hour or so. Usually my night ones are pretty quick because it's just me finishing up, but we'll see what we get done here. This takes a little bit longer to dry, the solvent-based one. I'll tell you that amber one definitely takes a lot longer to dry. A lot longer than the clear. So we're going to use Tight Bond to put this Would You Bend on. So here's the thing. Let me decide where we're going to be putting this. It's gonna go right here. Yes. So I'm gonna set this up right here. And this is gonna go right about there. Oh, you and me both. So I'm going to heat up this Would You Bend. Now this Would You Bend is WUB 2111. I love this one for bottles. I love how thin it is, so it heats up pretty quickly. It's just a beautiful design, and it wraps around like bottles, vases. I think I have a vase. I do. That blue vase back there has this piece on it as well. But I love that you get 2 pieces in each pack. If you're looking for this one, you can go to my link, under my link tree, or type in ! Would You Bend. Hi Cindy, how are you? And it'll pull up my link for you. And I do have a 10% code. I do have a code that'll get you 10% off. It is NIC 10, I believe, is my code. All right, so let me see where we're sitting here. Perfect. I'm just going to kind of let it hold that shape for a hot second. Snoring may help get a face pillow tonight. Hey Rhonda, how are you? Hey Miss Phyllis. Hi Lori. Let me pull that down a little bit. Just see where we land here. Okay. So what I need to be doing is right there on that line. So this is what that's going to look like. And we're going to fill that center with pearls and gems. Probably better to put your earbuds in. Oh, did I do that? Oh, man. Well. Wow. Okay. I made a boo-boo on the back of the bottle. I'm going to have to finish that. Or, yeah, fix that. There ain't no covering it up, that's for sure. How did one stinking spot? You gotta be joking me right now. The primer, oh, the primer sat, except for underneath that gold. What in the heck? This is where I say surface level dry, I guess. I don't know what happened there, how it went through that primer, but we will fix it. It'll be fine. All right, so I'm going to take my tight bond. Where is mine? Let's just use this. I have a brush for my heat it and brush pat it. I'm going to have to actually fix it. So I don't want to. I have a brush for this. I don't know where it went. Because I won't let it go, leave my house unless it's 100% fixed, but I can fix that one spot. It'll be fine. I'll just repaint over it. I'll put a little bit of bonding primer over that area and repaint over it and seal it. It'll be fine. I can blend that all out. No problemo. All right, so we're going to put our Tight Bond Quick and Thick wood glue. You want to use a wood glue, a good wood glue on this. Get it all to the edges. I might have put quite a bit on here. Let's get some of it off. Spread it down everywhere. You don't want it oozing out all over the place. You want it on there. You can clean it up, but it'll dry clear. I just don't like the lumpy bumpies. So as it oozes out, whether it dries clear or not, you want to wipe the excess off. I have an itch above my eyes so bad. Oh my God, it's driving me bonkers. That was one of those itches that were gonna make you jump out of your own skin. This is just a little silicone tool that I actually got also from Crafting Chaos. So you get a whole set of them. They're amazing for clay, for removing any excess glue off the edges of your projects, whatever it may be, and you get a bunch of different sizes in the pack. Love them. I love like all the cool little, of course, all the beautiful products, but she's got some cool little gadgets in there. The brushes are awesome. These little silicone brushes are amazing. So if you're looking for some fun little gadgets and tools and things to help you in your craft room crafting, as well as some beautiful paints and products, you can go to my Crafting Chaos link and find them all there. So a lot of the stuff I use, she's got in her store. You just hear Ziva sneezes. When she sneezes, her whole body sneezes and her face smacks the ground. It cracks me up. She like sneezes with her, there she goes. She sneezes with her soul. She busts me up. This is what, so this is the Tight Bond Quick and Thick. This is a wood glue. Had this in a specific area. Oh Lord, geez, oh man. Right here. Oh my God, Deanne, you crack me up. We're going to heat this back up to wrap it around. Mold it to that bottle. That also helps your glue to dry. So I'm just going to wrap this around. Pick that up. Yeah, it's never boring. I love your stories with him. He cracks me up. I hope that man knows how well he entertains me. And you're just gonna hold on to that, press it down. Oh, I'm gonna get another little silicone tool and just start pulling any of this excess glue off of here. Just so we don't have all the little, like I said, it'll dry clear, but I don't want any big, huge lumps showing. And I may brush a little more of that champagne right onto this black, but I'll do that after we fill in that center maybe, because we're gonna fill that in with gems and pearls, and we're gonna put the pearl trim on here as well. I got a lot of excess oozing out over here. And just remember, make sure you put your varnish on here before you add your would you bend to it. And I would say probably let it dry a good couple hours. I shouldn't have done what I did. That's probably how I got the boo-boo I got on the back of the bottle, but don't worry about it. It will get fixed. How pretty that is. And beautiful. Love that. So I'm just going to add heat to it one more time. Make sure it's nice and dry, that wood glue dries. Still pay attention to kind of cleaning any of this up. It's the biggest thing I tell you guys, turn your projects upside down, sideways, every which direction to look for any boo-boos. Make sure you got your colors in there, your paints in there. Not that, you know, anybody will be turning your project upside down, but you know it's finished all the way around, right? Obviously, you could have a little towel out to wipe this off on. I tend to use myself and my hands and my whatever, and I make a hot mess. So it's just how I work. So I tell people it's how I garden. It's how I do everything. I don't wear gloves. Heck, half the time I don't wear shoes. I just do me. And if I'm a hot mess, I'm a hot mess. All right. All right, love that. Thank you, Kathy. We still got a bit to go. So here's the thing. I have these gems. I want to grab the pearls. Hold on, because now I got this topper box. Oh, jeez, oh man. Talkies. I just came across the pearls. Here are the pearls. Oh, thank you for the stars, Camille. I appreciate that. So what I want to do is here, I'm going to show you. So I'm going to take, while I have my brush out so that it doesn't harden over here, I'm going to take my rubbing alcohol really quick. So when you use the solvent-based cleaner, you want at least 91% to 97%. Do not use the 70-something%. I promise you it won't work. I've lost brushes that way. Do not stick your brush that you put in your solvent-based cleaner into water. It will make it hard. You will not be able to get it clean. It will not work. Oh, it is not so orderly, I promise you. This room is a hot mess. But you see, there's a reason you only see this area. And I got a hot mess going all around me. I just got done telling a friend of mine today, like, I need to clean this room. So I want to have it cleaned by this weekend. So you can put it in a cup. Obviously, it's probably much easier than what I'm doing, but I'm doing this because I want to clean the glue off too. Get most of that off with your rubbing alcohol. Then you can wash it with soap and water and you'll be okay. But if you put it straight into water, you're going to lose your brush. It's going to turn rock hard. It's no longer going to be useful to you. So just a heads up. So, and then now that I got that rubbing alcohol on my glass, I'm just going to use that to clean the glue and all the other yucky, funky stuff off of here. Or not. It's glass. It'll all scrape off or come off one way or another. Best thing I ever did was put glass down because I mean, even on the edge here where the glass isn't, it's a hot mess. I already got to replace that too. Okay. So I have these pearls and then I have these gems. And the reason I'm thinking that is because we're going to put this around the bottle too. And this is going to go up and down those stripes. So I'm going to come in with the paints that we made with that champagne metal pigment. I'm going to go a little bit stronger. Let's just use the brush that I put the dry pigment in. It's kind of fluffy. And let's add a little more champagne to this, just very carefully. Just to bring the color out a little bit more. I feel like it's a little too dark for my liking anyway. Just gonna add a little more champagne. Like I said, I wanted the bottle to be elegant, not too like strong, ornate looking, but not too blingy either. But I want some elegance to it, so I don't know. We don't know exactly the route we're going, but we're gonna make it all work. And make sure you get all the edges, which we did earlier, but always get the edges of your pieces. I like, okay, that's much better. Not so dark. Now that can go in the water. All right. More of like that champagne. Oh, that's so pretty. Let's wait with the stones. I might not want to put pearls in there. But we are going to put pearls along the edge of this. So I'm going to take my diamond glaze and get my tweezers. And we're going to come around this piece here. Please don't be clogged up right now. Is that the wrong bottle? Probably. There's my little pin. So what did you guys have for dinner? I ended up not even having anything for dinner. I ate some pretzels with like garden vegetable cream cheese. That was literally what I had, but my son had FaceTimed me, so I was talking to him and Lucas and my daughter-in-law. I did, Rhonda, yes. No problem, Dean. You have a wonderful evening. And my son was telling Lucas something, and Lucas looked at him and said, no. And my son said, yes. And Lucas said, no. And I said, Lucas, you don't say no. And he looked at me and he goes, no, Grandma. And I said, Lucas James. And he goes, no. I was like, oh, hell no. So here's the deal. I said, Lucas James, and I'm like yelling at him, but I'm squeaking because my voice is gone, right? So I'm sure he's probably like, oh, well, you sound so big and bad. And I said, Lucas James, no. Grandma said no. And he walked straight up. And I do mean straight up to the phone. And he looked in the phone and he goes, Grandma, no. And he's like, and he's yelling at me. And I go, did I just get cussed out by a 2-year-old? My son was laughing. I'm like, when did that start? He's like, oh, well, you know, it's been going on for a few days. I was like, oh, my God. He just yelled at his grandma. He thought he was a big old bad boy. He's lucky I'm an hour away. Not that I would have done anything. I would have probably just been laughing at him like I was on the phone, but for real? I just got cussed out by a 2-year-old and I have no idea what he said to me. I'm sure it wasn't pretty. But he was as serious as I don't know what. Look, I broke my tweezers. Man. He meant every word of whatever the heck he was telling me. Night-night, Miss Jean. Trust me, I ain't got that much stamina. I just want to get her done. And I know if I don't go live, I'm going to be like, I don't have to do it tonight. And I do have to do it tonight. He's trying to assert his independence. As a 2-year-old? Oh, heck no. Lord help us all. Not as a 2-year-old. Not like that. I wish I would have got that on, like, a recording, because that was literally stinking hilarious, and it was too cute. Come walking up to me like he was the boss. I'm on the stinking phone, and he's pointing at me, and he's like, oh, Grandma, and he was so serious. He was, like, yelling, and I'm like, oh, my God. I was an angry child. That's when it starts. Oh, heck no. He's literally the sweetest baby. Please don't let that happen. Even my daughter's like, Mom, he's so sweet. I'm like, I know. I can't stand how sweet he is. But your brother was the same way. Till he wasn't. He turned into a little smartass. Which is exactly what's going to happen to Lucas. But it's all right. I always said, as long as my kids are respectful to adults, they tried their best, they did their best in school, and they were all around good kids, you know, they're still allowed to be kids. They're still allowed to, you know, have their meltdowns, do their thing, but he's too. Well, I don't know how I felt about him coming at me that way. It was kind of, it's funny right now, but, you know. It's cute as all get out. Can't say nothing. Let's be real. I fed that kid Oreos the whole time I was there for Christmas because I couldn't say no to him. My own kids, oh Lord, they weren't allowed to eat all that. Lucas, Grandma, okay honey, I got you. So there's the pearl trim, and I need need to bring it down a little bit because I can see I'm like, whoop. Did like a swoopy swoop there. It went super high in the back corner. Bring her up here. This is why I usually go quiet, because I know I'm gonna go too high or too low and make it look all cockeyed, and I don't want that. All right, I need to get a little piece in here. Hi, Miss Addie, thank you. All right, I'm gonna get 3. So yeah, so now there's gonna be, you know, a new little one this summer, midsummer. I don't know how Lucas is gonna take to that, but look out, buddy. You gotta be the baby no more. So I'm coming in where I still see the line, like right in between that would you been there. We're gonna come in and fill the gaps. Make it uniform all the way around. Oh, stay. Please stay. Okay. I see what I did there. All right. We're going to do the same thing right in between here. I think we're going 3 wide, 3 wide. Oh boy, where'd that go? And down. Did I imagine that I cut that? No. Hi, Miss Judy. Did I miss you coming in? Or did I say hi? I'm sorry if I didn't. Get these 2 little pieces, then we're going to come down the front of these stripes. Remember, I got to fix the back of this bottle, so. The only thing with these bottles, they drive me bonkers. Is it just me, or do any of you use these and have this problem? I don't know if it's my fan above head or what. Ouch. Oh, for crying out loud. Hi, Dolores. Hi, Kathy. Try so hard. It works 1 second. There it goes. And then it doesn't want to work the next. Make it make sense. And maybe we won't fill the center. I'm wondering if we should just outline it with this trim. So I kind of like the Would You Been piece as it is. And it it might be just doing too much. And that's why I didn't fill that yet, because I'm not 100% sure. So I always go with what I know I want and kind of leave the rest for later. Because you don't want to do it and then regret it. So like if you know that, you know, your plan is, yes, you are going to do this. Yes, you are going to do that. But you're not 100% sure about like the topper or how you want to fill in like a certain piece. Don't do it. Work on everything else and then come back to it, because it starts to make more sense the further you go. And then sometimes, you know what, there's a reason you weren't sure or it didn't work out, if that makes sense. So what I'm thinking is this maybe going inside of this little circle, and that's about it. Yep, that's exactly what we're gonna do. So I'm gonna come in, we're not gonna fill that with bling. We're just gonna outline it in the same bling. Remember I said I wanted a little bit of like sparkle to it, but I didn't want to overdo it. And it's not necessarily sparkle because it is pearl, but I want it to be elegant. I just didn't want it to be over the top. So I'm sorry, I'm not looking up. So we just put that right in that little circle. Of course, my good tweezers, I had to break them, didn't I? I think I might have another pair somewhere. I'll have to look. I'm just kind of turning this to make sure they all kind of poke out. I like it like that. With just... So then we're going to go down these stripes as well. Yeah. So I'll do like the front of it for you. Obviously the back I gotta fix. So I have a spot back there that needs fixed, and I will do that. Andrea, how are you? So did anybody get off the live earlier and go buy grapes? Just asking for a friend. I don't like that. Hold on. We're going to go just to there. I can't stand when it's crooked, so I want a nice straight line, right? There we go. You can see that. So we're going to go down each side of these stripes. You at least get the front done for you. Right to there. This is like the tedious stuff to this, right? It's the fun part, but it's the tedious part. Well, for me, the fun part is like deciding what we're going to do with it and kind of creating and changing and all the things. And this is where I always say, like, none that I do, no two are alike. I couldn't do another one. I mean, I could, but it'll never be exactly the same. Hi, Willie Mae. How are you? But the would you bend isn't the middle of the gold strip in the front of the bottle. It's bugging me that I don't have comments up there. I'm sorry, guys. You love to upcycle bottles. I do too. Don't have second child before number one turns 3. They might not have more. I don't remember what he was doing. I'm sorry. I didn't even see. I thought y'all were just being quiet. No clue. It's bugging me that the would you bend isn't in the middle of the gold strip on front of the bottle. Well, is what it is. It is not always gonna be perfect. I gotta love the book. I look up, there's nothing. I look down, there's all the comments. I didn't think that went through. So if it's bugging you, sorry. See what I mean? Like we're gonna put that bling going all the way around. Let's do one more, just for the heck of it. These came from Amazon. Oh, shiitakes. You can get them off of Amazon. But what I will tell you is they're kind of a pain in the butt. I mean, they're great on one hand and they're a pain in the butt on the other. I've destroyed more of these stinking things than I care to admit. It helps, I guess, if you cover it every time you're done with it so it doesn't clog up, but I don't think that far ahead. I just get wrapped up in what I'm doing and holy cow. Now I got comments up there. How weird is that? All right, so I'll do the rest of those after. However, so this is the topper that's going on, right? I need to look at that in my iPad when it pops up because I am on a delay, and then kind of see how I feel about it. And like I said, I got a spot on the back of this bottle. I gotta fix it. I know it's there. Okay. Oh, shoot. I feel like I will have to, you know what? I have these. I pulled this earlier. Because how pretty. That's probably way too much. So I can put these up here. This I will have to paint champagne. Why do I not like it? I don't like the topper on it. I knew I was going to do that. I knew this was one of those bottles I was not going to like a topper on. I don't like that topper on there now. I'm not going to lie to y'all. I don't even know if I like this one on there now. We just went through all that earlier. And I hate that topper on there right now. I don't like it on there. Even if I paint it champagne, I don't like it on there. I don't like that one either. So now what? No topper? You like it? Like which one, sissy? This is number 1. This is number 2. Oh, Lord, Rhonda, we went through all this earlier. But a big one looks awful on here. I don't know. I can't tell by looking up there. I gotta look over here. So I am gonna put a row of this here. That's what I'm thinking, no topper. You guys still like number 1, really? So I need to bring the pearls up to the top. Hi, Tanya. I feel like it's got to be... You like number 1? Oh, no. It looks different in the camera to me than it does in person for some reason. Like I said, this would be painted champagne. This would be painted champagne. There would be pearls up here so that I bring them up. And I could probably put pearls right there, but I don't know. It's not doing it for me. It is so not doing it for me. I don't know why. This one's too big. I kind of like it no topper. It feels like a no topper bottle for some reason. Not every bottle has to have one, you know. I have this one, but I already know I'm not going to like it in there. And no, it ain't going to fit. And listen, we don't need nothing Big Mama Jamma on there. I don't like anything Big Mama Jamma. I need to see it in my iPad. I don't know why there's such a stinking delay. Yeah, no. Oh, baby. Just for giggles. Wrong one. You like number 1. Y'all like number 1. I know that's what we picked earlier, but look, I even have a stinking, look, I don't know what this is. I don't know. Say what Lucas says. I don't know. The last one you showed and looked like it was kind of the color that you would be centerpiece. Try that top of it. Looked like it was the last one you showed. Looked like it was the last one. I don't, what? I was joking about this one. I just thought it was a funny topper. I did this earlier, but I don't think it's for this bottle. I don't know what last one I showed is. It's not for this bottle. Only because, like I tell you guys, like my comments are so delayed. By the time I get them, I've already put 3 different ones on there. Unless I pull out like my actual... All right, I'll leave that there for a second. Michelle, I don't know what yes is for. Like, I wish it was real time so I could be like, yeah, where do you get all your bottles? I either get them thrifting, I get them Goodwill, thrifting, garage sales, friends, or like vintage stores. So I get a lot of like, I do a lot of like vintage bottles too. So, but those have gotten a little insane. Like I always pay more for my vintage bottles. You know, like some people are like, why do you start your bottles so high? Because some of my bottles are like anywhere from $15 to $25 just for the bottle itself, much less, you know what I mean? So like my vintage bottles, sometimes I try not to spend $25 a bottle, but there's some bottles that'll sit here for years because that's how much I spent on them and I love them. All right, let me pull, oh jeez, Pete's sake. All right, I can't even open that stinking drawer. The toppers are so heavy at this point. Let's go giggles here and go Big Mama Jamma and see what that looks like. And then there's some like restaurants and bars that'll save them for me. So again, I would have to paint champagne. No, that's a no. That's a no. Too white. topper bottle. I'm not going to lie. I'm not digging it. I don't know why. I'm just not. Yeah, no. Here's a little, how would it be a fleur? I think this would be too much. That's too much for that bottle. I love that topper. Nope. Y'all, it's a no topper bottle. I can't do it. For some reason, it's just not adding up for me. So I think we're going to keep it a no topper. And that is why I always paint so that the inside of the bottles have the same color as the rest. So really what I need to do then is, yeah, it's getting no topper. I just like it like so. So let's put some pearls. How am I doing this, Nicole? We're gonna go around the top of this. I have the perfect string of pearls for this, but I think it's too much when I did that. So we're just going to put around the neck here the same pearls so that we bring some of that to the top of the bottle. Hi Kimberly, how are you? So we're gonna go all the way along the top. Bring the same look all the way around. Scissors go. And yes, there's a spot there. Yes, it will be fixed. And you know you will not notice that that happened. I will fix it. Oh, thank you, Tanya. I try never to pass up a bottle is my problem. And now people know that I love them. And people send me bottles too. I've had a lot of you send me some beautiful bottles that I have worked on. And I love them. I never turn down a bottle is my problem. And the sad part is I'll be at a restaurant or, you know, like at a local bar or something for lunch, dinner, whatever. And this is me. I just stare. I just stare at the bottles. I'm like, so what do you do with your bottles? And that's how I get some of them. Because I can't help myself. Because everybody carries different liquors and so forth. I've had coworkers bring them to me. Tell people, save me your perfume bottles. I love all of that stuff. Okay, so we got the pearls at the top. And I had this pulled because it was the perfect colors, right? And look how pretty and soft that is. So this came from Hobby Lobby forever ago. And it is actually perfect for this, but I feel like too much is too much. See me tomorrow under the table. I probably will not be live tomorrow. So, I had some things come up, so I don't believe I will be live with you guys tomorrow, much less from under the table. If I decide to go under the table with grapes, I will be live with you. I promise. So if I go live, or if I go under the table with grapes, I will either do a video or I will go live with you. So I do need to finish off the rest of those, and I made a boo-boo right there, and I will fix that boo-boo. But other than that, didn't exactly take, you know, things change halfway through, and that's just kind of what happens. And that's why I always say I never fully finish and like rush through a project or hurry up and get it done like in the vision that I originally had, because I change my mind so many times, and that's why I can't plan things either. So I go to plan something, I better take a day off. I plan things and they go south, and they go south for a reason, because at the end of, you know, all of that, there was a reason it didn't, oh man down, there was a reason it didn't work out. Hence, you know, like, I mean, that green bottle took me to a whole different direction. They all did. Everything I thought I was going to do a certain way turned out a different way, and there's a reason for it, because that's the way it was supposed to be. So you can plan all you want, even if you have a vision in your head, and it just doesn't always come together. So just remember that, like, because you guys always say, yes, take time off. I've been taking time off is the problem. But there's no, like, you can sit and go, this is how I want my bottle to look, and this is how I'm going to do it, and that's the end of it, and I know what I want. Because halfway through, you change your mind, or it just doesn't look right, or, and it's not that you had a wrong vision, it just didn't work out, whether it be the shape of the bottle, the colors, the way things came together, or whatever it may be. That's just the way it's supposed to be. So at the end, the way it turned out is the way it was supposed to turn out. And you can always try a different way on another one, but I like that. I'm glad, see, we wanted to do pink and black checks. This was originally supposed to be pink and black checks, black or white. This was going to be gold. I mean, it was a whole different plan. It wasn't even anything like this. Somebody said champagne and ivory, and I went, you know what? That'd be pretty. And then I did stripes. It always changes. So I tell people all the time, there's no right or wrong. There's no such thing anywhere in the book that says you got to do it a certain way, or that you even have to have a plan. You just, I'll pull a bottle out and a couple pieces and go, okay, this is what we're doing. And halfway through, the blue bottle turned white or black or whatever it may have turned, and it was a whole different scenario. So don't get discouraged. All right, I'm gonna hop off. I wish you guys all a very, very, very happy new year. And just, if you're going out, if you have plans, stay safe. Get an Uber, whatever it is you got to do, but be safe out there, because, you know, it's not always you, it's the other person. You never, 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 ever know. And if you're going to hide under the table with 12 grapes, I want you to video it. We used, it's the solvent-based varnish. So because we used Fine Line Crackle, you have to use a solvent-based varnish on it. So I used this one, which was the glossy varnish by Pen Art. This is the solvent based one. Happy New Year to you too, Tanya. And you can find the Fine Line Crackle, solvent based varnish, all of that on my Craft and Chaos link. She carries all those items in her store. And I do have an affiliate with her. Have a happy new year. Feel better. We love you. Hugs. Good night, Kaylee. Good night, Miss Helena. You have a wonderful new year. I feel okay. I just don't have a voice. A little stuffy, but nothing like I was. But if you hide under the table tomorrow, or go under the table with grapes, I want pictures. At least private message me pictures, or put them on my VIP page, please. Happy New Year, Mickey, to you too. You as well, Meg. You guys have a wonderful New Year's. I hope that 2026 is a better year for all of us. I know we say that every year, but let's just hope it's a better year for everybody all the way around. Because I know there's some people in here who've had just a tough, horrible, awful year. But you know what? I look at it this way, and I said this to my kids today. I actually had a long talk with my son and my daughter-in-law. There's always something to be grateful for. So just remember and try to look at that. And that's probably the hardest thing to come out of my mouth. But I had to actually sit and realize, you know what? I have a lot of things to be grateful for, and that is my children and my grandchildren, and for this room, and for some great friends that have stood by me through the past year and a half, and so many of you have done the same thing for me. So just know I'm truly humbled and 100% grateful for that, and I just wish everybody a wonderful, wonderful new year, and hope that next year is better for every single one of us. But all right, guys, have a good one. Be safe tomorrow, and I shall see you sometime in the next couple days. I'll see you in 2026. Have a good one. Bye-bye.